All right, the Math 6, this is week 5. We're going to go into geometry. I just did the ratios. It was fun, but geometry is my favorite. I didn't used to like it when I was a kid because I thought it was more confusing than algebra. But as I've grown up, I noticed that geometry is a beautiful way to describe math because it involves pictures. And as we know, pictures tell 1,000 words. So it can be a really good way to communicate about math. So pay attention during geometry. A square has an area of 100 square meters. What is the perimeter? So, okay, let's talk about squares, areas, and perimeters. Here is a square. I'm sure you knew that. Here is a square, and let's say that has, for example, it's not the square from the question. It's just my example square. And every side is 5. What is the area? What is the perimeter? The area is base times height, and the base could be the bottom or the top, and the height is going to be the side. So that's 5 times 5, which is 25 meters squared. The perimeter is when you add all the sides together. So you figure out how far it would be if you went all the way around. So in this case, that would be 5 times 4, which is 20, or 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, right? 20. So that is not, let me clear that now. Hopefully you have it in your notes, but now we're going to look at this guy. And we know the area is 100. What two numbers multiply to 100? It's 10 times 10, isn't it? And so that means the square has 4 tens. So what's the perimeter? 40. 4 tens, right? Marcy is putting squares onto a rectangular mat. After she finishes covering it, Marcy says the mat measures 30 square units. Putting squares onto a rectangular mat. Okay, so let's draw a picture. So we have a rectangular mat, and we're putting squares on it. Like that. Right? Something like that. I wish I could copy this. Can't copy it. So I'm doing this. I'm putting squares on the mat. And so on and so on. Okay, so after she's done, she says it has 30. What did she just find? She just found the area. So when you are covering in a place in squares, you're finding out its area. A rectangle has a width of 10 and the length is 4 times the width. What's the perimeter? Okay, so 4 times the width is 40, right? 4 times 10. So then let's draw the picture. We know we got 10, 10, 40, 40. So what would that be? 20, 80, 100. Add all those 4 numbers. Okay, you can do this one. Margot wants to build a rectangle. She has 24. Oh, this is a good one. So the largest area. Okay, so, oh, I kind of gave you everything. So all of these would be possibilities. So just multiply them and pick the one that gives you the largest area. And that's just showing you that if you have a certain amount, it doesn't mean there's only one area. If you have 24 meters of wood, you can build different rectangles and they will have different areas and give you a different, outcome. You got to pay attention and do the math, you see. Math is important. All right. And now we're shifting gears here to multiplying a mixed number and a whole number. Wonder why I'm doing that. Okay. Oh, because we have to multiply a lot when we're doing area. So let's convert this to an improper fraction. So that would be 1 times 3 plus 2. Multiply the whole number times the denominator and add the numerator. And then put it over the denominator. That's how you convert a mixed number to an improper fraction. So it's 3 plus 2 is 5. And then we're multiplying it by 6, because it was multiplied by 6. So put the 6 over 1, so that now we can just multiply across the top and multiply across the bottom. 5 times 6 is 30. 3 times 1 is 3. And then, of course, we must simplify. 30 divided by 3 is 10. And I see that in my answer choices. I have not looked at my answer choices until that time. Find the area. Now I trust that you can multiply that fraction and that whole number. 3/4 of 2/5. So in order to do that, you just multiply. What's 3/4 of 2/5? Just take that 2/5 and multiply by 3/4, and you get 6 over 20, which reduces to 3/10. 3/10. Okay. All right. A volume. The volume of a rectangular prism. So volume, something I hope all rising sixth graders know. It's length times width times height. Or the high school way, the way that I teach the geometry students is base area times height. So like you find the area of the base here, and then you multiply it by the height. It's 5 times 5 is 25, and then multiply it by the height. And that's 125, right? Oh, and we should say centimeters, and the centimeters, that gave us centimeters squared, and then we're multiplying it by centimeters again. That gives us centimeters cubed, and we see that centimeters cubed. It's because we multiplied 3 centimeters together. A rectangular bulletin board is you can do it. You can do it. It's like the first one I did. All right. So that's week 5. Go for it.